What's going on, everyone? John here with another episode of Cocktails in Cloud. Today, we're going to be talking about Microsoft Defender for Cloud. This is a topic that I've been a little confused on. They changed names, the billing model is a little confusing, so I wanted to try to demystify this and introduce it to you all. But before we get started, let's make a cocktail. Today, we're going to be sipping on a Penicillin. Penicillin is an amazing Scotch whiskey-based cocktail with a lot of positive benefits to it. We all like feeling good when we're drinking, right? So this particular cocktail features honey, it features ginger, lemon, and of course a little bit of whiskey. It has a lot of immunity properties, anti-inflammation properties. Again, you feel good while drinking it, right? And so this isn't too different from Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Defender for Cloud basically provides immunity in some sense to your Azure or AWS environments. And we'll dig more into that shortly. But first, let's make a cocktail. We're going to start off with 3/4 ounce of honey ginger syrup. This is a homemade honey syrup infused with ginger to give it just a little bit of spice. To that, we are going to add 3/4 ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Got to have some good quality citrus for this one. Careful you don't squirt yourself in the face. Happened to me recently. It's one of the few times I've been happy to wear glasses. Kept me completely safe and out of harm's way. To that, we are then going to add 2 ounces of blended Scotch. You want to have something kind of middle of the road here. We don't need a single malt that's going to set us back an arm and a leg. I like monkey shoulder for this particular cocktail. All right. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to get some ice. We want to shake that over some ice, and then we'll top it off. Ice may be the most healthy part of this entire cocktail. Water, it's good for you. Gotta have some water. Okay, so we're gonna grab some fresh ice. Always wanna make sure you have fresh drink ice. Control the dilution of your cocktails. Strainer. Strain that over ice. There you go. You know it's diluted enough when the shaker is so cold it hurts your fingers. This is a labor of love, folks. All right. And now, to finish this off, we want to grab a smoky Scotch, something with some peatiness, using Lagavulin 16 today. And what we're going to do is we're going to top this off with about 1/4 ounce, and we want it to kind of float on the top. So we're going to use the back of our bar spoon and pour over that. That way, it tends to sit more on the top of the cocktail. And we'll see that color difference showing up right on the top. There we go. Now, one last thing. If you're fancy like I am, gotta garnish your drinks. And the best way to do that is grab some crystallized ginger, just throw it in the drink. Just like that. Boom. Cheers. Gotta say, I only poured this 2 minutes ago, but I'm feeling healthier already. This is a great cocktail. Cloud providers have come a long way over the years. Over the last decade, we've seen improvements in security monitoring, response, and this is exactly what Defender for Cloud is doing for not just Azure, but for the ecosystem as a whole. One thing folks don't recognize is that you can integrate other cloud providers and on-premises into Microsoft Defender for Cloud. I typically assume it's tightly coupled with Azure, but that's not the case. So if you have a hybrid cloud environment or a multi-cloud environment, you can connect your resources and you can allow Defender for Cloud to have that monitoring oversight into your cloud and on-premise environments. So what should we know about Defender for Cloud? First of all, there's two main components. There's a cloud security posture management component, and then there's a workload protection component. The cloud security posture management component comes with two billing models. First is foundational, and this is basically the free model. Yes, Defender for Cloud can work for free, and that's important to recognize. And then there's Defender for Cloud Security Posture Management, or CSPM. One of these days I'll get that right. Defender for Cloud Security Posture Management, CSPM. Now, the foundational version offers continuous assessment of cloud resources. It's going to find configuration issues, it's going to make recommendations for how you can better harden your environment. Now, Defender for CSPM, the paid model, this digs deeper. This offers vulnerability scanning, so proactively looking for vulnerabilities in servers, in containers. It allows risk prioritization, attack trees, things of that nature. And it's generally just an improved cloud security posture management system. They're going to get better results for a cost. Now, the other aspect of Defender for Cloud is a workload protection. And this is a pay-by-resource model, which allows you to do things like have endpoint protection on servers, databases, containers, etc. This is an amazing feature, but again, it's a pay-per-resource, and that's what I want to point out here. Defender for Cloud has free offerings, but there's also paid offerings. So if you're a startup who's just getting started with Azure or cloud services as a whole, my recommendation is to start with the foundational version of Defender for Cloud, utilize that, fix those vulnerabilities, those configuration issues that come up, and make the best of that to start off. Now, in production accounts, you probably have highly sensitive workloads. You may have servers that are handling very sensitive data, things like personally identifiable information. Now on those would be good candidates to enroll in the workload protection. Again, you're paying for the resource, right? So there is a cost associated to it, but it provides that enhanced insight into the server, into the application architecture that you need if you want to ensure you have coverage. We see all the time customers who have been breached and they don't have the proper monitoring capabilities in place. Servers need to have endpoint protection. Databases need to have endpoint protection. And this is what the Microsoft Defender for Cloud service is trying to accommodate. So if you're not utilizing Defender for Cloud for your Azure environments or your multi-cloud environments, highly recommend starting at least with the foundational program. Again, foundational, that's free. We want to have this enabled in all of our cloud subscriptions at minimum. For any production type workloads, we recommend going with the pay per resource model and spending that extra money to protect those resources. No matter how much the monthly cost is, it's going to be cheaper than a data breach, right? So keep that in mind. Now, if you ever have any questions about how to prioritize your cloud security spend or implement cloud security best practices, feel free to reach out. Would love to chat about it. Cheers. Today, we're going to be talking about Microsoft Defender for Cloud. This is something that has changed names. It's been confusing. It's been confusing.